In the early days itself, JP Morgan, Chase, Bank of America, a lot of banks banned the use of ChatGPT in its organization. But how can these guys use AI to fasten things up, to progress faster? What can they do?
Like they have to create their own private AI, which will be safe and secure for their own data. For example, a bank like SBI or any other banks, you don't need really a public LLM to sit on their servers and do the work. Right, because there is a lot of sensitive information which is there. For example, if such a bank has to incorporate an LLM concept into their system, they should obviously take a path of having a private LLM.
But can these AIs perform at the same level as these public AIs?
When we talk about performance, right?
Yeah.
There's a concept of hallucination, bias, and all this comes into the picture.
Yeah.
We have to consider those factors.
Okay.
So that is one of the niche service what Tech Optima also offers, which is known as AI quantification and AI validation basically.
Now, will these private LLMs to function, will they need internet?
You don't necessarily need them unless and until there is a very stringent requirement. You can run them online and offline model. You need to make a server similarly like that, and that is what we have at Tech Optima. We call it as Optima X.
Okay.
And it is full-fledged designed for an LLM which can handle close enough to 200 plus billion parameters. The LLM gets preloaded in that and you'll get it.
How can I say this LLM is secure from the outside world?
Yeah, because see, it is not connected to the outside world, first of all, right? It is secured, okay? And it will be in your own premises, right? And you have complete controllability on that. Okay, you can see how the audits are going on in that particular LLM and everything. Inside that box, basically, inside the Optima X, you'll have a dedicated firewall line also. And the entire thing will be guardrailed to its own limitations.
Got it.
Okay.
So if I'm using a public AI, what are the risks that I might face?
One is sensitive information which you are leaking out. For example, if I just tell to one of my, junior employee, right? Hey, this is the project scope, and he used ChatGPT. Give me the summary of this. He'll ask similar, right? And it will give me the summary. Write me a code on this. For this particular requirement, write me a code. The code is developed by itself, right?
Yeah.
The ChatGPT, the public LLM, right? So that code I'll plug it into my system.
Yeah.
Right? So the data is connecting. The interlink of the data is existing over there, right? So you see that security threats, okay, which will be there for sure. Indirectly, without the consciousness, you're doing that because your job has to get finished. So that is a very big threat. You should stop doing that and start adopting private LLMs into your organization so that it will be in your own boundary and it will solve your purpose.
Let's say I've used these public AIs and I've put out sensitive information, but can I delete it? Can I access
it's
it?
gone. It's gone.
If I'm a startup, I probably won't be able to afford private LLM. Well, what do you think? How much would be the cost?
When you are using a public LLM versus private LLM, basically, the data breach cost, which is very much important. On the public LLM, it's already exposed out there, right?
Yeah.
Whereas on the private LLM, it's in the defined boundaries. So when you are implementing in public, the data breach cost is going to be 10 times, 20 times, 30 times more than that.
That is very true.